If you clicked this video, you're definitely looking for those slick social captions and a much faster repurposing workflow that doesn't take all day. I spent a solid chunk of time rigorously testing the popular Premiere-centric caption and short-making tools people keep recommending across the industry. Today, I want to walk you through exactly what actually works, what proved genuinely annoying, and where a tool like Vizard can truly change your content creation life. We will cover 4 well-known plugins I personally tried: Firecut, Brevity, Autocut, and Submachine, to explain their quirks, pricing, and how they fit into a real editing flow. Finally, I'll show you a much cleaner path forward if your main goal is turning long videos into stacks of ready-to-post clips without completely losing your mind in the process. Alright, let's jump straight into the first one, Firecut, which has been the go-to for my team and me for quite a bit of captioning work this past year. Installation felt incredibly smooth, involving a simple guided setup that neatly drops a dedicated panel right inside your Premiere Pro workspace. You access it easily via the window drop-down menu, which immediately presents a very neat and accessible panel docked on the left side of your screen. Firecut isn't just for basic captions. It certainly comes packed with a few extra bells and whistles designed to speed up production. For the captioning feature itself, it supports transcription across a massive range of languages, which is super handy for creators with a global audience. Crucially, the initial transcription process is impressively fast, letting you get straight to the editing phase quickly. Once transcribed, you can preview different style options, adjust positions directly inside the panel, tweak the actual text, and even split lines effectively. What I genuinely love about Firecut is how quick it is to produce those highly stylized captions, especially since you can save your favorite looks as reusable presets. The line splitting feature and the ability to edit directly within the panel are extremely practical for tightening up those classic voice recognition mistakes like mishearing a dog's name. Furthermore, generating PNG-based captions is a big plus because it results in very light and fast playback within your Premiere Pro sequence. However, the big thing that bugs me is that those PNG files are actually saved locally to your disk, creating potential offline file headaches for team collaboration. The panel preview is also quite static. You cannot scrub through and see the animation live in the program monitor, which makes style previewing feel a bit clunky. And let's talk pricing. After the trial period expires, Firecut lands on the pricier side unless you are generating massive video volume to truly justify the monthly subscription cost. So, in summary for Firecut, it's certainly fast and produces polished results, but the team workflow management and overall cost can become significant sticking points. Moving on to the next contender, Brevity, which is newer on the scene, and I was honestly quite impressed with its focused approach. Installation follows the familiar ZXP installer route, which is totally normal if you have used Premiere extensions or plugins before. The user interface inside Brevity is wonderfully focused and clean. You select a style, choose your desired transcription quality, accurate or fast, and it immediately previews the animation right in the style drop-down menu. That tiny live preview feature is a meaningful differentiator because seeing the text animation before committing saves a substantial amount of guesswork later on. Brevity handles caption placement by using an editable MOGRT layer inside Premiere, avoiding the PNG file offline drama that Firecut can sometimes introduce. Because it uses MOGRTs, it does require rendering time, but the final visual result always looks incredibly polished and you can nudge position easily using effect controls. Styling options are straightforward too, covering background color, padding, rounding corners, capitalization rules, and various in and out animation behaviors. A small caveat I noticed is that captions sometimes momentarily jump when switching between lines, which is an easy fix but still noticeable during review. While translation features are available, I encountered a translate error once, though that could have just been a temporary fluke on my end. The pricing for Brevity's caption-focused plan felt much more reasonable compared to Firecut, positioning it as the best balance of UX and reliable results within Premiere. Third up on our list is Autocut, and it's clear they've iterated on the UI a lot recently, which really shows in the final product. The main panel homepage gives you access to nice visual presets and even community-shared templates, which is fun if you prefer starting from someone else's established design. The workflow is to style first, then select your clips, initiate transcription, and Autocut uploads the audio and returns a stack of nested sequence MOGRT layers. If you appreciate having one single clean layer that you can easily move, scale, or manipulate later, Autocut does that specific organizational task exceptionally well. What I actually liked about Autocut was the community preset library, the nice step-by-step designer feel, and the tidy nature of that final nested sequence output. It also features automatic emoji generation and maintains a pretty decent transcription speed throughout the whole process. What proved annoying was the styling then transcribing order. I much prefer seeing the captions generated first before attempting to style them blindly. Additionally, the panel overlays used during the transcript editing phase can become visually distracting when you're trying to focus on fine-tuning the text. Pricing is generally okay, but be warned that many of the more advanced caption features are locked behind those higher-tier subscription plans. Last on the list today is Submachine, which is geared more toward the power user and requires a couple of extra setup steps for much greater customization. The installation is simple enough, but the real standout feature is its MOGRT first workflow, which relies on Premiere's built-in transcription engine. You export an SRT file from Premiere, import that into Submachine, choose your specific MOGRT animation pack, and then ensure your frame rate settings perfectly match the project. The output consists of a set of MOGRTs capable of animating in significantly more advanced ways, like progressive fill or futuristic word-by-word reveals. The big win here is Submachine's flexible pricing model, offering both a low monthly option and a rare and awesome lifetime purchase for those who hate subscriptions. The level of craft you can achieve is incredibly high, allowing for subtle gradient fills, elegant handwriting reveals, and truly bespoke stylized animations. The main downside is that it's technically more involved. You must correctly match frame rates and adjust settings for every clip, which adds overhead. If you need a last-minute typo fix across many MOGRTs, it involves the manual step of copying and pasting those updates, making it less automated than others. There is also additional rendering overhead to consider since these highly stylized effects are processed as complex motion templates. So those are the practical trade-offs between the 4 mainstream tools we reviewed. Firecut is fast but costly with PNGs. Brevity offers editable MOGRTs with a very friendly UX and reasonable pricing for most general caption needs. Autocut is community-driven and great for tidy nesting, though the initial styling flow can definitely feel a bit backward to some users. Submachine is distinctly for the pro editor who demands ultimate motion control and really appreciates the option of a non-subscription lifetime license. Now, here is where the purpose-built tool, Vizard, actually fits into this landscape without sounding like an aggressive sales pitch. Most creators I talk to aren't just fighting over caption styles, they need to take an hour-long podcast or long tutorial and create dozens of snackable shorts efficiently. That constant need to generate volume means the traditional caption into MOGRT dance within Premiere starts feeling incredibly inefficient very quickly. Vizard approaches this problem from a completely different angle by functioning as an AI-first repurposing engine for your long-form assets. It automatically finds the most potentially viral moments in your long videos, auto-edits them into ready-to-post clips, and handles platform-appropriate outputs. The first key differentiator I noticed was its ability to auto-edit those viral clips, spotting and extracting the moments most likely to perform well on social feeds. Secondly, the auto-scheduling feature is a game changer, allowing you to set your desired posting frequency, and Vizard will queue things up for you automatically. Finally, it offers a built-in content calendar, letting you manage, tweak, and officially publish all your new clips across all social platforms from one central location. Why this is so important is that if your main bottleneck is pure volume, manufacturing consistent shorts at scale, the plugin approach becomes a tedious hamster wheel. The caption plugins force you to manually style, export, render, and then schedule every single piece of content individually, which burns a ton of time. Vizard fundamentally shifts that intense work upstream, where the AI curates clips that are already framed, trimmed, and often captioned for maximum impact. This cloud-based nature is also a huge time saver for team workflows because you eliminate the problems of local PNGs going offline or constantly sending files back and forth. To be fair, Vizard isn't the perfect solution for every single scenario, especially if you value granular control. If your editing priority is pixel-perfect MOGRT motion that you need to tweak frame by frame in After Effects, Submachine's control depth is still superior. Furthermore, Vizard absolutely requires internet and cloud access, meaning it doesn't replace Premiere for totally offline editing sessions. It complements your existing Premiere workflow by taking on the massive, repetitive heavy lifting of content repurposing upstream. Here's the practical workflow I now recommend. Use Premiere for your fine-tuned edits and big structural cuts on the main video. Then, run that final long-form file through Vizard to automatically seed your social media content calendar for the coming weeks. Use Brevity or Autocut for those specific one-off clips where you absolutely need the native MOGRT control inside the Premiere environment. Opt for Submachine only when you are aiming for that truly custom cinematic caption treatment and you're willing to invest more time for superior craft. Ultimately, if scaling your content output to 50 clips a month without burning out is the key metric, Vizard will likely save you more hours than any single caption subscription. Let's quickly check the pricing reality one more time. Caption plugins range from free trials up to monthly plans that can seriously add up over a year. Firecut felt undeniably pricey unless your video volume justifies that high monthly spend, whereas Brevity offered a much more balanced price-to-feature ratio. Autocut has a perfectly fair entry-level tier, but remember that most of the best captioning power often resides behind those higher-priced tiers. Submachine remains the wildcard because that lifetime purchase option is an absolute bargain if you plan on using it consistently for many years to come. So, here are my bottom-line recommendations for anyone looking to adopt a new tool into their editing ecosystem right now. If you want the easiest all-in-one caption tool that lives inside Premiere and you don't mind a steady monthly fee, Brevity is where I would point most editors first. For the absolute power editor who despises ongoing subscriptions and needs the maximum degree of custom motion design control, Submachine remains the professional move. If your priority is simply fast, PNG-based output, and you can tolerate potential shared file headaches, Firecut will certainly get the job done quickly. Autocut is a very solid contender for those creators who love leveraging community presets and prefer the simplicity of a single nested sequence output. But if your key performance indicator is sheer scale, meaning more clips, more consistency, and significantly less manual labor, you must try Vizard alongside Premiere. Let Vizard handle the work of finding your viral moments, batch creating clips, scheduling them out, and maintaining a content calendar that actually functions in real life. You then use Premiere alongside one of the other plugins above only for those very specific moments where you need that one-off absolute micro tweak. That hybrid approach, combining dedicated AI repurposing with granular editing control, is what is currently saving creators massive amounts of time and sanity. I truly hope this detailed walkthrough helps you confidently decide which new tool you should run a trial on first to test its fit. If you need a super quick checklist to narrow it down, ask yourself, are you optimizing for pure craft, Submachine, speed inside Premiere, Brevity, Firecut, community presets, Autocut, or massive scale plus scheduling, Vizard? Pick the one that aligns best with your current biggest hurdle, run a serious 7 to 14-day trial, and you will know very quickly if it genuinely fits your established workflow. Thank you so much for sticking with me through this entire long breakdown of the current captioning and repurposing landscape. Keep creating amazing content, and please make sure that the tools you select are actually saving you time, not just creating new administrative work. I'll see you all in the next video where we break down another time-saving technique.